Can you make some pancakes,
I'm really
please?
hungry. Give me your hand.
Make me some food.
Daddy, can you make?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Daddy Can You Make? Yes, Daddy can make. And today we are going to be making a sweet-filled pastry, date Newtons. I wanted to try and make fig Newtons, but I didn't have any figs, I had dates. So here we are. To make these deliciously addicting date Newtons, begin with a medium-sized saucepan on a stove. We'll add 7.5 ounces of dates, or about 1.5 cups into the pan. Then add 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon orange peel shavings, or 1 tablespoon orange marmalade, because I was fresh out of oranges. This ingredient is optional. We add 2 tablespoons honey, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, and finally 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. The combination of these different sweet flavors packs a fantastic, mouth-watering punch. Turn on the stove to a medium heat and bring to a simmer. Simmer together, stirring occasionally for about 5 minutes. This will combine the ingredients and soften the dates. After the 5 minutes of simmering, set up a food processor and pour everything in the pan into the food processor. Pulse together until nice and macerated. The filling will be quite sticky and thick. It may not look appetizing, but it tastes delicious. Set aside for a moment. Next, set up a stand mixer. Whoops. Make sure the lock is on so you don't have an accident, and put a deep dent in your nice wood table and your foot. Yes, this is often what real cooking looks like. Moving on, we add 1 cup almond flour, 1 cup of gluten-free flour. I'm using Pillsbury gluten-free flour here. Add 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon baking powder, and a half teaspoon baking soda. Using a paddle attachment, mix these ingredients together briefly until combined. Next, crack in 1 egg, add 5 tablespoons melted butter, 2.5 tablespoons cane sugar, and 2 tablespoons maple syrup. Mix together until the dough starts to come together. Remove the paddle attachment and finish by pressing the dough together using your hands. The pastry dough might be a little crumbly. If too crumbly, add a little milk to bring it together, but not too much. Dump out the dough onto a sheet of plastic wrap and use your hands to form it into a rough square or disc. Then, I like to place another sheet of plastic wrap on top and then use a rolling pin to roll it out into a large rectangle about 1/4 inch thick. Now is also a good time to preheat an oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. The rolling guides on my roller can sometimes get in the way, so I like to take them off to finish the job. But they can take a long time to take off. Phew. We'll finish rolling out the dough. Use a pizza cutter or knife and cut straight lines about every 4 inches to create 4-inch wide strips of dough. Trim the edges and gather up the scraps to form them into a new dough ball. Set aside. With our filling we prepared earlier, we'll use a spoon to scoop out a wad of filling and roll it in our hands to make a 1/2 inch thick snake. I like to get my hands wet a little bit so the filling doesn't stick as much. When rolled out to the length of your dough, place it in the middle of the dough rectangle. My wife says it kind of looks like a poop log.
It's like a poop log.
Yeah. Reminds me of this.
Want some?
Oh,
Get out!
Joey would.
Don't touch it!
Here it is.
It's no big deal.
It's no big deal, guys. It tastes great. Moving on. Now to demonstrate how to roll up the Newton. It helps to only have one dough strip on the plastic wrap at a time. The dough is delicate and can be crumbly, so we'll very carefully move off the other strips and try not to break them too much. If it breaks like I just did, you can press the dough together and mend it. We are going to use the plastic wrap to bend the dough and fold over the filling. Fold the dough around the filling until the ends meet, then pinch them together. Press and smooth it out to make an evenly thick formed Newton. It may take a little practice, and if you're a perfectionist like me, you may spend some time to smooth it out just right. Once you are satisfied with your formed Newton, unwrap it and cut it into 1.5 inch pieces and place on a baking sheet prepared with parchment paper. Repeat the process for the remaining dough and filling. If the dough breaks like you see happen to me, again press the breaks together and roll over it again with a rolling pin to help mend the dough. Once you get it, the process really does go by fast. Soon you have a sheet full of delicious pastries ready to bake. With a full baking sheet, we are going to bake these newts at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. The bake on these turned out pretty good, though we did get some cracks in the tops. However, I know they will still taste amazing. When done, remove from the oven and place the baked Newtons immediately onto a cooling rack. Like all baked goods, I love them warm straight out of the oven. They have a soft center with a burst of sweet, alluring flavor. They taste so good. As soon as they were out of the oven, I had family members swarming in for a bite. And some were oblivious to the fact that I was still filming. Hope you enjoy these. Be sure to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments section, and subscribe for more delicious recipes from my kitchen to yours. Sincerely, thanks for watching.